Desiree with theastrologyaddiction.com, and thank you so much for watching. Today I'm going to be doing a reading for Kim Kardashian and looking at her birth chart. I thought this would be interesting and fun because I know that she's definitely into spirituality and into getting readings. I saw an episode where they were in Bali and they had gotten a lot of readings from different intuitives out there, and I know that they left, feeling a little bit like they weren't getting what they wanted or what they needed out of those readings. So I thought that presenting an astrology reading would be a fun thing to do. And I definitely think that her, astrology chart is very interesting. I've looked at it before. She is a Libra sun, which is also conjunct pretty closely to Lilith and Pluto. She also has Saturn and Juno in Libra. Now her moon sign is in Pisces, and her rising sign is in Sagittarius. So I'm going to take a couple of different pieces of her chart and just piece them together. There's a lot that you can do with an astrology chart. So I'm going to start with the basics today. And her sun, first of all, is in Libra. Most people know that Kim Kardashian is a Libra. She is someone who is quite social. She's pretty good at communicating, and she does public speak from time to time. She is kind of known in her family as the one who does communicate pretty well on the public level. She's usually the one giving the statements and talking when they're doing interviews. Kim is pretty balanced in that regard, and she can communicate quite well. And Libra is an air sign. It's ruled by Venus, and it is quite a communicative sign. So most people that have Libra placements do like to socialize. They're not really people who are very introverted. They can be, but they definitely like the social aspect of life and kind of connecting with people. So she also seems to really like the spotlight, and that's something that you do from time to time see with a Libra. They're not very shy people. They can be, but not always. And she does also have Lilith conjunct to her sun with Pluto there. And that definitely shows someone who doesn't like to really follow traditional kind of ways of being. She wants to kind of break the mold. She is not afraid of being sexy, of her sexuality. She's known for, the tape basically with Ray J. That was the first thing that had actually really been, was a news story about her, and that kind of broke the whole family into fame. And, Lilith on the sun is someone who is really here to break that mold and break kind of society's thought of what a woman should be, especially. Any woman with Lilith on their sun is going to be someone who doesn't like to follow the rules necessarily, or who really likes to pave their own way. And Pluto also being there is, shows that she can even have some control issues, maybe even people in her life that try to control her or have tried to control her, and she has a real desire to fight that. She's not a woman that can be controlled in the sense of the word. So I definitely see that with a lot of things that, have played out in her life. And also, Libra is the sign of law, it's balance, it's fairness, and I think as most Libras get into their adulthood, they kind of get away from the, social side of things, the more superficial side of Libra, and they get more deep into the social justice, even legal work, which she's studying now to be a lawyer. So that's definitely something that you often see with mature Libras. And another thing that I did notice right away definitely is her Pisces moon. People with a moon in Pisces are very intuitive. They're very creative. They can definitely walk into a room and feel all of the different energies that are going on in the room, all of the people. They have a pretty good sense of who's good and who's bad. And within that also, they can sometimes deceive themselves in a way. They deep down, they know what's right and wrong, and they can sense who's good and who's bad, but sometimes they really want to believe the best out of people and see the best, and so they can, make themselves almost believe a story that they're telling themselves or a fantasy. And, that does happen. I think you can definitely see that with her marriage to Chris Humphries. that was something that was very quick and sudden. And probably she, kind of talked herself into this fantasy of what their life could be. But then once reality hit, the veil was removed. So a lot of people with Pisces will go through something like that in their life where they are seeing things in a certain way and they really have to go through some challenges to get their eyes open to the reality of the situation. Now, it's opposite to her Venus, which is in Virgo, and her Virgo Venus is actually conjunct to her midheaven and to Jupiter, and so this shows that she does still have a pretty strong sense of reality. She values order, she values organization, and that's really helped her with her career and helped her, make it as a businesswoman and as an entrepreneur. Her attention to detail, her sense of really how things need to be correct in the world. And that's probably helped her a lot throughout the years with kind of combating that emotional side that she has. Maybe Pisces moons can be kind of hopeless romantics, and they can definitely get caught up into situations like that with lovers for the most part. So it's good that she has that Virgo part of her personality with the Venus in Virgo, because it brings her back down to earth a little bit. And her Jupiter conjunct the midheaven, that just shows that she really has a larger than life public image, very strong. Usually with famous people, they can often have Jupiter on the MC, and it shows that a lot of people will know who they are. They'll have a really grand and large public image and presence and even influence. And showing that it's in Virgo, that could have been someone who, maybe they didn't necessarily, they didn't try super hard for it. This is just something that she's been, since she was born, this is kind of her birthright, to have this larger than life persona and to be known kind of by millions of people. And especially to be known for her beauty with Venus there. It's definitely seen as that. And I think as she gets older, she'll probably be known for her public service a little bit more. The more that she gives back to the community, the more that she fights for, legal issues that are, she's passionate about. Now, second to last, we'll talk about her Mercury in Scorpio, which is conjunct to Uranus. And that is something that really brings an intensity to her. It brings a sexiness, especially into her mind. She can think outside of the box. She's not afraid to find out the truth. This is a really strong placement for someone who is like a detective, or for someone who is can really pay attention to the details and kind of look underneath the surface level of what's going on to find out the truth. Within her company, I'm sure that there's been people who have tried to take advantage of her in some way, and I think that she would be the type to really sit and, meditate and ponder on something for a while until she makes her decision, and until she knows all of the details and all of the facts, so that she can come at the issue head on. Mercury in Scorpios can be very very revengeful in their younger years, so that could have been something that maybe she has kind of within her, the need for revenge and to come out on top, and especially when people maybe hurt her in a way. But Mercury conjunct Uranus is also someone who can be very brilliant. She can have a lot of ideas and thoughts, and she can think outside of the box, think very uniquely. She can even be attracted to people who are a little bit weird and a little bit, in a sense, crazy, which definitely speaks to Kanye West. He's unconventional. He is kind of says things that are not really always publicly, socially acceptable, but that's attractive to her, and she can understand it, and she can see kind of beyond just the surface level of it. She can see really into the meaning of things. So that's probably something that's very useful for her. Now, lastly, I will talk about her ascendant, which is in Sagittarius, and she has Mars conjunct the ascendant. Now, right away, the first thing I thought of this was that this is talking about her health issues. Definitely when someone has Mars on the ascendant, they can have some type of a skin issue, they can have any type of health problems, they can have a number of chronic conditions, viruses, diseases, and things like that that they just have to deal with for their entire life. And for some people, it can be worse. For some, it's not as worse, but it does also rule her fifth house. So that also shows that through childbearing, you can also have a lot of these issues come up and intensify for you when you do have kids, and probably through pregnancy. So that is definitely shown in the chart. But it also shows that she has a very sexy and over the top first impression. You know, when people meet her, she likes to have the most fashionable clothes. She likes to wear something flashy, and she likes to be noticed. She doesn't really like to be just like a wallflower. Sagittarius risings, they love to wear red. They love to shock people in a way. They like to be noticed. They like attention, and they don't want to be just a background dancer. They want to be star of the show. So you definitely see that with her chart. And these are the main things I noticed right away when reading Kim Kardashian's birth chart. But there is so much here, and there's so much depth. There's really a lot that you can go into with this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to book a reading with me, my links are in the description box. Have a good day. Bye.